So just as I say, we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around.
Certainly, history condemns things and people by eliminating them.
A house divided cannot stand.
But I do believe that the black man in the United States and any human being, anywhere, is well within his right to do whatever is necessary by any means necessary.
Normally, these moments are usually done with our very own children and youth. However, this morning we are doing something a little different. We have an amazing group that will be doing this Black History Month moment, as they themselves have made history and they are still making history. Amen. Shiloh, I present to you the sitting and retired judges of Shiloh.
Good morning, Shiloh. This is the day that the Lord has set. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. I am so pleased to present to you and introduce to some of you these distinguished jurists. Please know, before I get to that point, please understand that we did not pick up jurists like manna from heaven, but on the contrary, this was born of our tears and through the years with our struggles, in our protests, our marches on Washington, our marches across bridges, our campaigns on campuses, and through it all, the black church, the black schools were the bridges that brought us across. And so it is, we have Southern represented, and we have Grambling represented, and we have Miles College, and I'm from FAMU. And I can tell you this, we march and we protest all up and down the East Coast, all across the country, so that we could fulfill our destiny and we could reap what we have sown. And so it is, the right to vote was not given to us. We seized it. Although it was ensconced in the Constitution, it wasn't for us, it wasn't for you, it wasn't for me, but we seized that, and we passed that Voting Rights Act in 1965, and this is the result of that Voting Rights Act. One more thing, just because it was signed didn't mean it was going into play. And this historic church joined with us to file suit against our own governor, and we took it up to the United States Supreme Court. We filed that lawsuit in June of 1986, and we litigated, Judge Pritchard, all 8 years up and down the courts, and we were there, and Shiloh played a pivotal role. And so we're so glad to see the bounty that our church enjoys. And so it is, understand that that same right to vote is in danger of being seized from us. It's endangered by secretaries of state who want to purge. It's endangered by a government that wants to take the power out of the judiciary and put it in the regulatory bodies and put it in corporations. But we shall not be moved. We are like a bridge planted by the water. We shall not be moved. I first want to present our newest judge. She is the judge from the juvenile court. You know her well. You know her well, but she is Judge Gail Grover. And I asked her to just say good morning to Shiloh. Come on, Gail, say good morning to your church.
Good morning, Shiloh, and very quickly, I'm an example of God taking the ordinary and doing the extraordinary. And for the baton to be passed to me, and I am saying there are young people out there today, the baton is being prepared to be passed to you. To God be the glory.
I would next like to present Judge Yvette Mansfield Alexander, a Gramblinite, and she is on the city judge. She's City Court of Baton Rouge, And she wants to follow in the footsteps of Judge Pitcher and Judge Calloway, who started their careers on the city court in Baton Rouge. And she wants to matriculate to the 19th Judicial District Court. And so at this time, I'm going to present her to you. She's the newest member of Shiloh, incidentally.
Good morning, Shiloh. As Judge Clark has just said, I'm running for Judicial District Court in the 19th Judicial District, Division M. The election is April 11th. I know my church is praying for me. I feel it every day. I get that strength from that, and I thank them. I was the first African-American woman elected on Baton Rouge City Court, and now I want a promotion, as Judge Pitcher just said, to go to the district court. So I implore to each of you to ask your friends, your kindred, everybody to go out and vote for me April 11th. I thank God for leading me to Shiloh because it's been an awesome, awesome turning point in my life. Thank you, Shiloh.
I should have warned you beforehand, but she is the daughter of a Baptist preacher. And so it is, she is at home in the pulpit. I next want to present to you Judge Curtis A. Calloway, who served with me, and served distinguished with me. But he knows I'm the senior judge at 19th JDC, and he would like to say what has been laid on his heart.
Good morning, Shiloh.
Good morning.
Good morning, Shiloh.
Good morning.
I just want to say, as the other judges before me have said, it is indeed an honor for me to have, first of all, been a member of this church. Amen. It has been indeed an honor for me to run for and get elected to, in 1988, to the Baton Rouge City Court, 1992 State District Court, until 2008. 2009, I've been retired from 2009 to now. Some people would say I'm not retired, but I don't work every day. But again, we need to say to the young people, I see some people in here this morning who have indicated that they have aspirations to some of the seats that we have been in. But again, thank you for the privilege of serving you and our community.
Amen.
All right. We next present to you the Honorable Freddie Pitcher, who is the oldest in terms of service. And we like to say he's the granddaddy of us all.
Thank you, Judge Clark. Thank you. Good morning, Shiloh. Good morning. In March of 1983, the city of Baton Rouge, and particularly the African American community of Baton Rouge, helped to elect me as the first African American judge in the city of Baton Rouge and the parish of East Baton Rouge. Like Yvette indicated she wants to be promoted, well, in 1988, actually I ran in 87 to be promoted in 1988, I became the first African American elected to the 19th Judicial District Court. Then in 1993, I became the first African American elected to the Louisiana First Circuit Court of Appeals. And subsequent to all of that, the Lord saw fit for me to step down from the bench after serving right at 15 years as a judge. And I became the first African American to become a partner in the Baton Rouge office of an international law firm here in Baton Rouge. But that was not enough. The Lord also saw fit for me to become the chancellor of the Southern University Law Center, where I served for 13 and a half years. And I'm back now at my old law firm, Phelps Dunbar, that international law firm, as a senior partner. So God has really been good. And let me just say that this church, the Reverend Charles T. Smith, was a stalwart in my election. The people of Baton Rouge really came together to make that happen. As I went from church to church, I would say to the people of the congregation that there's no force more powerful than an idea whose time had come. And that idea and the time was to elect a black person to become a judge. And when I stepped down from the bench, I had a press conference and I said the reason why I ran no longer existed. When I ran, it was only one, but when I stepped down, there was 9. And the Lord saw fit to break that glass ceiling. But I can't step down without also recognizing Brother Walter Dumas. Is Walter over there? Walter was appointed as a city court judge before I was elected. And Walter served for a period of time. So Walter has the distinction of being the first black to put on a robe in Baton Rouge. And we thank you, Walter, for all that you've done. Thank you. Thank you.
And finally, at the postscript, I might add, Judge Pitcher, that on that day in October, we elected 33 black judges across the state. We have more black judges per capita than any other state in the union as we stand here, speak, and pray today. And I do want to add my voice to what has been said by my colleagues. Please know that your vote counts more than it has ever counted. And 3 of us are up for re-election this year. That would be Judge Alexander, and that would be Judge Grover, and yours truly, Judge Janice Clark, 19th Judicial District Court. One other thing I need to call to your attention, there is a move afoot in the legislature to force retirement of judges. Wonder why. But in any event, we'll be back to talk to you about that a little more. But every year when we open court, we are summoned down to by the Supreme Court down to what is called Red Mass. And we go to the cathedral, and all of the Protestant judges, we just have on our robes, but all of the Catholic judges have on red vestments around them, and it signifies, I believe it signifies the blood. In any event, now that our bounty is great and we are many, there's something we might need to consider, and that is having a church service for dedication and prayer prior to the opening of court right here at Shiloh. So I'm going to ask Reverend Smith about it. I'm not going to tell him what to do, but I'm going to ask him about it. And so it is at this time, Reverend Smith, you come forward. One last thing. One last thing.
I've also been appointed to the Louisiana Supreme Court as Associate Justice ad hoc on 3 different occasions.
All right. Now, Judge Pitcher, you could have said how many times you affirmed me, but you didn't see fit to say that. But anyway, so Reverend Smith, you come forward. These judges love Shiloh. We love you. We loved your dad. He helped us so much. We loved your mother. She did a lot of things that we can't say right here, but she was so helpful while we were in school. And so it is, we'd like to show our appreciation and give you this token for the social justice department that you have implemented and installed, and it's so inspiring to read it every Sunday. Yes, it is. So thank you very much, and we will be steadfast, and we will continue to uphold the law and to uphold the dictates of Christ, and we are representing you, and if you see us faltering, push us up. Thank you very much.